Welcome back to Grace Rewritten podcast. Y'all done did it again. Y'all done came back. And I am so excited that you guys have, came back. So, you know what I want you to do? I want you to like, comment, people, and subscribe to the channel. I see we got over like 15,000 people that see us. But I need y'all to subscribe to the channel. Show me some love, show us some love, And we got some great things happening in April that we gonna be announcing very soon. So stay tuned to that. But today we're gonna be talking about access. How many people have how are you accessible? Like how many people have access to you? Like, these are the questions you want to ask yourself about access, because access can be a good thing and then access can be a bad thing. You just got to weigh it out, but we're going to get into it in a few minutes. And me, I just want to testify about access. I was a person that was very, very, very accessible to people. Like, I literally used to just be like, and then I didn't have a boundary too, like what I told people, like personal stuff, like just anything. I just was very, very, very accessible because I thought that was a godly thing to do, or I thought that was just like, that's how you're supposed to be. I didn't have a boundary. I didn't have anything on access. I just was like, okay, I can be in anybody's space, or anybody can be in my space. But I found out that no, that is not the case. You do not want people to always either be in your space or you always in people's space, because I believe that it could change who you are and how you are, because as you are in people's space, you kind of start acting like them in a way. And it's not even on purpose. Like, it don't be on purpose. It be like, dang, I just said what you said. Just like it, and it don't be on purpose. Because like I said, when you get with somebody, you start speaking their language. So I'll just dive straight in. So the Bible verse that I have for this is Proverbs 4:23. It say, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. So to me, what that means in access is, like I said, when you around everybody, when you giving your access to your words, your energy, your emotions, when you giving that stuff to people, to me, I just feel like you got to guard your heart. And guarding your heart, you're guarding your access. You're guarding the way you are. You're guarding the way people see you. Because a lot of times people think that you can be accessible to people. You know how people used to be like, the birds of the bird of a feather flock together. That's actually a thing. If I'm hanging out with a HOE, I'm going to look like an HOE. If I'm hanging out with spiritual people that's really spiritual, so you just got to differentiate, and you got to place yourself in a proper way. Like, you got to have discernment. Me and my bestie was talking about discernment. And I think she said, yeah, you got to know with discernment or something like that, she said. And then I said, honestly, people be sneaky. Like, you can have discernment. You can literally think that your discernment is on and it be off. So let's get into it. Decide who earns access. It has to be a decision that you decide who earns access to you. Because not everybody does. So you have to discern. Oh, that's what he said. PW was like, friendships or relationships or love, whatever, is risky. It's a risk that you take every single time you bring somebody into your access. Every single time you bring somebody into your space, it's a risk that you're taking. It's a risk that you're taking. So you have to be very, 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 very careful of taking that risk of access, because at the end of the day, sometimes you feel as though like, oh, this person cool. You don't know that. And me, like, y'all, I used to give everybody a chance. I don't do that no more, because it's just like, everybody don't deserve a chance. It has to be an intentional purpose set before me for a friendship, for a relationship, it has to be some type of, I have to feel like, oh yeah, this it. Or, or God got to tell me like, oh no, you can keep that one. Or no, go fight for that one. Or, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something like that. And deciding who earns access in your space. So physical, emotional, and digital. Right? So when I say, to me, when physical, like I said, everybody can't get in your space on a physical way. Everybody don't supposed to be coming to your house. Everybody don't supposed to be like that access, touching you or being emotional. People, because people are able to literally emotionally manipulate. When people are in your access points, they can literally emotionally manipulate you into what they want because it's a controlling spirit. Because I want to navigate. I want to be the person I want to be the person that take over this relationship. You have to watch as well as pray, people, because people will literally try their best to emotionally try to get you into that. So you got to ask yourself, do they respect my boundaries? But first, you got to ask yourself, do you respect your boundaries? Do you have boundaries around access? Or are you just always accessible? Because that's what we really have to ask ourselves. Am I accessible? Am I too accessible? Can everybody sit at the table with me? So it's just something that you got to ask yourself. If someone consistently disrespects you, they don't get full access. Oh, girl, blah, blah, blah. Because with the boundary, when you set a boundary, it's something that a person do not have to know that this is your boundary. But if you know that this is your boundary and this person continues to disrespect the boundary, why are you still considering, or why are you still providing access to that person? Why are you still providing this access to this person? You have to ask yourself, what's broken in me that continue to allow this person access to me? If this person isn't giving, or if this person isn't a person that God called you to. I'm not talking about people that God called you to. So don't get it twisted. I'm talking about people that God didn't call you to. Because when God calls you to some people, sometimes it gets hard. It gets challenging. So I'm not talking about those people. So don't, get into your head about that. And then it says, stop over explaining. So over explaining is a form of over access, because it's like you trying to prove your point. Like, oh, no, because this, and this. No, you said what you said. No, I can't do that today. Yes, I can do that today. So you don't want to over explain yourself. Sorry, I can't. You know how we be like, sorry, I can't make it because I was tired and I had a long day. No, how about just saying, I can't today? Or how about just saying, that doesn't work for me? Or how about just saying short answers? Short answers, strong boundaries. Short answers, strong boundaries. But that's, like I said, that's what people, that you're not called to. So don't get in your head. And if you think that, and I have to say this, because if you're thinking in your mind a thought of a person that God called you to, and you're taking this into consideration, that may not be your purpose partner. Because if you're listening to this and you're equating this with a purpose partner, that's not your real purpose partner. This is not to purpose partner people. This is to people that you're not designed for. And I don't know why I continue to say that. I'm sorry. I just keep feeling it. But, and also, create response delays, right? So, how somebody texts you and they text you whatever, they text you hey, I miss you. And this is how you can differentiate if a person is for you or not, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying use this on everybody, like I said, but when you're trying to figure it out, and a person be like, oh, I miss you, I can't wait to see you, blah, 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 and you're busy or you're doing something, you have to look at their reaction to you not responding quickly, because that's a spirit. Oh, I did this. You have to look at that. You don't owe anyone instant access to you. You don't. You don't owe nobody instant access to you. But like I said, your kids, your friends, certain people like that. But you don't owe every single body that access. You just don't. You don't owe them that. You don't owe them that. Okay. So another one I have is access is a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege to have access to me. It's a privilege to be in my space. It's a privilege to be in your space. So anytime someone is taking it for granted or being dishonorable, or, you feel as if you're disrespected and there's not like apologies going on or different things like that, you have to literally look at that and be like, okay, what is this? Because what is this? You have to literally look at it and differentiate what it really is, okay? And then you have to limit emotional availability. When I remember it was a point in time where I was just very because my thing is it takes a lot for me to pull back from somebody, but that's my first pulling back. My first pulling back is limiting my emotional availability towards someone, because it's just something that I do, y'all. Y'all don't have to do this, but to me, sometimes you have to limit that access, because it'll almost be as if you're in a limbo. Sometimes people want to put you in a limbo because that's where they are. So sometimes you have to pull back and just be like, okay, I'm praying for you. Okay, I'm gonna love on you, but I'm gonna love on you from over here. I can't emotionally be involved. You get what I'm saying? I hate when you get what I'm saying. But you have to sometimes pull back emotionally. If someone is not getting it. Not everyone deserves your deepest thoughts. Like, everybody don't deserve that. Not everybody. You have to have there's certain people that have the capacity. There is literally certain people that have the capacity for your deepest thoughts. Everybody don't have that capacity. So you can't give it to everybody. And you can't think that everybody wants your deepest thoughts. No, they're going to think you're crazy. Everybody don't want your deepest thoughts. Certain people are called to that. Your deepest thoughts are for the Lord. Your deepest thoughts is for your journey. Your deepest thoughts is for your friends, your purpose friends. And not for them people that's just trying to figure you out and then steal your ideas. Not those people. You have to literally, it's so amazing that, again, me and my bestie was talking about something. I said, friend, we just really have to be consecrated. And what I mean by consecration is prayer, fasting, and really literally reading the word of God. Because this podcast, again, it stings from God. The reason why I talk to the people on this podcast the way I talk to y'all is because I believe that God is giving me things to give to me, but also to give to you, because he loves you and he wants to see you do better at life. Okay, so back at it. Keep conversations at a surface level with certain people. So what that look like? Y'all just talking about, what's your goals? How everything been? You don't have to necessarily get into it in a way of, involving your emotions or evolving your, just be real surface. Real surface. You good? You all right? Okay. God bless. And just share less personal information. a lot of times what people do, and I used to do the same, I used to overshare. You don't need to do a lot of oversharing because a lot of people don't have your best interests at heart. So you want to discern again who has your best interest at heart and who you can share your stuff with and who you have to be surface level with. And you can say things like, I'm not comfortable, talking about that. Your privacy is powerful. Your privacy is power. Privacy is power. I'm going to say that for the third time. Privacy is power. Because can't nobody hold nothing against you. Can't nobody go back and forth with you about something. Power. It's power. Yes, you want to be telling certain people things, but a lot of times you can't. Because people just don't have the capacity. They don't have the capacity to know that, this person is going through this, or maybe this is a spirit attached to this, or some people just don't have the capacity, So yeah. And then set physical and social boundaries. Set physical and social boundaries. Examples: not inviting everyone into your room or into your home. Everybody is not invited because spirits transfer. That's real. Spirits transfer. Spirits literally transfer. Spirits transfer. Everybody should not be able to come into your home and just talk about whatever and leave it there. Then you will have to clean up. You will have to go into warfare. You will have to turn on whatever you got to turn on and do what you got to do, because now this house has entered into a position or into a place of demonic, because we're not lifting God up. It's just spirits just roaming. No. You have to take authority over your home, and you have to be very, 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 very careful who enters your home, because this is your sacred place. This is your sacred, I take my home serious. Anytime I feel like there's a demonic force or a shift or anything in my home, I literally, it's so weird, y'all. My operate so weird, but I literally my body will shut down, and then I will begin to, my body is shut down, and God will begin to speak to me and tell me what to do. So what happened to me. But also leaving events early without guilt. If you gotta leave, if you feel a certain type of way at an event or wherever you are, and you feel as though, all right, I gotta be out, that's okay. Exit the building left without guilt. Don't feel guilty about it. Do your thing. And two, I want people to understand, be yourself. Be real with yourself. Do not be in denial about a thing, about a person, about a purpose. Do not be in denial when God shows you something about someone. Believe it. Believe it. Because that's what it is. He showed you. He revealed it to you for a reason. And then saying I need a long time. I just want you guys to know that you don't have to over-explain or over-expound. When you feel in your spirit something is shifting or something, you have to, first of all, pray. And then you also have to leave without that guilt, because if you're guilty, it's going to make you emotionally like strained, and you don't want to be strained or drained. You don't have to stay where you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to stay where you don't feel uncomfortable in a way of a demonic shift. But sometimes, I want to say this, but sometimes uncomfortability is a way to life. Sometimes when you're uncomfortable in certain situations, it's because God is trusting you and expanding you and stretching you in a different realm. So uncomfortability in an access realm is okay, but you can't allow uncomfortability when God is trying to stretch, if that makes sense. I hope I do. Because I don't want you to miss out on that blessing. And then get comfortable with discomfort. See, get comfortable with discomfort. Get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with it. Get comfortable. And discomfort can look like, hey girl, you coming to the party? No. And you're okay with your no. It's okay. That person may be mad. They may be like, oh, I'm surprised by her response. That was crazy, or something like that. Or they will even probably be like, it will cause people to be like, you acting different. Let me tell you. Let me tell y'all something. Like, I remember, because I used to be a friend that, like, I used to, like, going to parties, turning up, and don't get me wrong, I still like being around people. Like, I do. But I just don't be in the in crowd because I know that God is taking me to another place, and I know I can't be in different spaces or different places anymore because of where God is calling me to. So it's not that I think I'm perfect or, oh, you can't go to the club when you with God. Honestly, I don't think so, because there's a different type of image that people see. So say for instance, if you never met Jesus, but you see me on social media proclaiming that I serve the Lord, right? And then you see me at the club drinking. What would you say to me as a believer? You're not going to believe God because you believed in the God in me so much. And now you see me doing contrary to what, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that we as people we don't make mistakes, because we do. We make mistakes. We literally make them. We are not perfect people. But you're not going to just see me just doing that. You're not going to see me just displaying that. You're not going to see me just posting that. You're not going to see me just being in a space to where I don't need to be at. Like, a lot of times I can't go to certain places. It's not because I'm acting funny towards no one, but a lot of times you don't see, not even just me, you don't see women and men of God in certain places, or places where they get invited a lot of times because they're keeping their covenant serious with God. It's almost like as if their covenant is so sacred with the Lord that your invitation, because a lot of times with people, and I'm sorry that I had to go this way, but certain times a lot of people will try to demonize people for not coming to somewhere that someone invited them to. But don't do that. Don't try to demonize somebody, because a lot of times you don't know that it's God's covering on them that they're not coming to your event or to your birthday party. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things that's going to be happening. And a lot of times people don't respect people's privacy enough, and you'll put me in the video. And that's what I'm saying about access. A lot of people have access to you and they don't respect you in a way. So it's like, now you put me all in your video. Now I'm being seen. Like, you messing me up, So that's that. And then it may cause people to push back. Like, you know what? I'm not even about to invite her nowhere no more because she can't never come. I'm not going to invite her nowhere. And two, you have to be careful with that, with people that gets like that. Because if they don't understand your calling, or if they don't understand where you're going, they're going to always demonize it, or they're going to always take it personal what you're doing and how you're trying to live your life, right? A lot of times my calling probably is higher than yours, so you don't respect yourself as much, and they're indulging in things on social media so that it can be put out. But I have to protect myself, because when Grace Rewritten podcast goes up, nobody will have dirt on me, because I'm respecting myself at my starting point. I'm respecting myself at the point of, I know that I'm going somewhere, guys. So I can't give this access to people that don't understand the access. You know what I'm saying? I can't give it to you because you don't understand it yet. So you're going to be recording me while I'm at your event. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you just got to keep yourself. It's not personal. And what people got to understand is, a lot of times things is not personal. People aren't trying to not come to your events, or not come to your parties, or not come to different things because of They just don't want to come. No, some people hurt behind not coming to certain things, but it's about the call on their life. What y'all have to, or what we have to understand is some people have a intentional call on their life that requires them to separate, that requires them to be different, that requires them to not be on a video, that requires a different type of access. I can only give you my access. When you disrespect my access by either like talking about people I love, or that, you coming against things that, when you disrespect the access I give to you, I have to pull back. And I have to now be something, that I didn't want to be, like, you know what I mean? But, and not even something that I didn't want to be, because I have to respect myself and my covenant father. That is what it is. Also, and pushing back, like I said before, it doesn't mean that you're when people push back, it doesn't mean that you're wrong, because you're not. You're not doing anything wrong because you push back. You're not doing anything wrong because you needed to. You seen that it was a risk taking. It was a risk taking move to give this access, but when giving this access, it was too expensive. When I gave this access to you, it was way too expensive for me to let my hair down, just be who I am, blah, 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 because you don't respect it and you think it's a game. You think me being in your presence is a game. It's not. It's not at all. Like, so yeah. And then boundaries often upset people who benefited from your lack of them. I'm going to say that again. Boundaries often upset people who benefited from your lack of them. When somebody has benefited from the lack of your boundaries, they're only going to try to be like, oh, I'm mad at you. Why you acting like that? You're not acting like nothing, babe. You sit pretty. You do what you got to do. And you be obedient to the Lord. Be obedient to God. And let God work for you. You know what I mean? Just God gonna work for you. Choose yourself consistently. And I'm not saying to not choose others. But what I'm saying is, as you continue to get into your boundaries, choose yourself. Is this going to be a risk to me and everything that I'm trying to build? Or am I good to go? That's something that you have to ask yourself. Yep. And it says, I didn't ask before saying yes. Do I actually want to do this? You have to ask yourself that. And then you got to be real with yourself. You have to be, again, the only reason why I believe God is going to actually give me a thriving type of situation, because I believe in myself and also friends around me. I am very authentic when it comes to myself. I do not fake. I'm not about to play. We're going to be very authentic. You can't be so broken that you're allowing things to just be, and you just allowing them to be. Am I doing this out of guilt or fear? Or am I just doing this because I know I'm supposed to? Or obligation? Or am I doing this because God told me this is what you got to do? So you have to differentiate the access points and choose yourself consistently on that point. Then if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. I'll say it again. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive, people. It's way too expensive. So you got to think about that. If it costs me my peace, I don't even know. I'm about to walk away from this because this ain't it, And then simple mindset shift. So just having a simple little just mindset shift. Don't say things like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Because it's not about hurting everyone's feelings as much as it is trusting yours. right? And then what I would suggest is I don't want to abandon myself. Self-betrayal is real. And because sometimes we think that we'll be left, no, people that love you give you your space. People that loves you allow you to go on over there for a minute. You go on over there. If you love me, you will allow me just a little space. But then you're going to come back and be like, "Well, I love you," you know? So just practicing no without guilt. And that's the biggest point. Say no without guilt. Don't be guilty about it. Don't, oh, well, don't be guilty about it. But I love y'all. And what I really want y'all to get about access is your access is expensive. Your access is something that is worth you knowing that it's worth it. And also you knowing that it's everything that you're supposed to give to yourself and to others. Don't take access for granted. Don't take access for granted. Don't allow yourself not to just look at access one way, but look at it in both ways. As I'm looking at myself, am I a good person to be around? Just do your homework as well, when it comes to access, and choose people wisely. It's a risk when you choose people, period. But just try your best to choose them wisely. I thank y'all so much for listening to Access. And I pray that this helps someone. And I pray y'all let me know if it helped you. Let me know if, it's something that you want to talk about. Let me know. Just let me know. And what I need you to do again is like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Bye.